Well, silly me, forgot to unmute my mic. This is what happens when you have to go to the bathroom right at the start of a stream. But anyway, as I was trying to say, was hello everybody. This is RPG Maker MV. It's software basically to make your own RPG game. And what I wanted to do was basically show you guys how to use the software, how you can like start setting stuff up, creating people, maps, all that good stuff. I mean, I have done a tutorial videos in the past, but this is more just going to be like a quick summarization of everything. And I also wanted to show you what I've done so far and how I've done it. So hopefully you guys will end up enjoying this. I'm sorry you're hungry, Professor Tree. I just had some quesadillas before I started. It's probably why I ended up having to go to the bathroom. All that cheese. And it doesn't help that I'm drinking eggnog too. Ooh. Had a tingle or something in my foot that was making my legs spaz out. Anyway. As soon as the internet decides to behave, there it goes. Come on. Behave for once. Spazzing out. Thank you. Windows XP error? Where? How? Why? Over at my stream and I keep seeing it like spazzing or speeding up and slowing down and skipping, and no, it should be fine. Anyway. Hey there, Mr. Randomness. Welcome. As I mentioned before, this is RPG Maker MV. So I think the best option right now is to show you what I have so far in this game that I've just kind of been working on. So yeah, you are going to hear sounds and music just like as if you were sitting right next to me. So let's go ahead and start it up. Okay, good. So obviously the title, it's still like a working title, as well as an image right here, but this is just an image I saw in the game, and I've always liked the idea of a crystal, though Final Fantasy also likes the idea of crystals. So this is Final Fantasy Crystal of Light. Again, title subject to change, maybe. But I mean, I do happen to like it. It's a step up from when I used to be called Opium Crystal. Opium Crystal, not opium, not the drug. But yeah, just kind of bear with me. Anybody who's been watching my streams knows that it's always been kind of choppy. The internet's always been choppy and jumping around. Hopefully, once I get a new place again and get my own internet, I won't have to deal with all this choppiness that this internet provides. I'll have my own, and if I have any issues, I can always take it up with Cox. Alright, Professor Tree. Hopefully. Really, Azza? You're calling me an old fart now? I'm not even 30 yet. Heck, I'm not even 29 yet. Anyway, so let's go ahead and start up a new game. And maybe get my mouse off of there. So, I always like the idea of whenever you start a new game, like if you haven't played it before, then yes, you're going to want to probably see the intro. But if you have played the game before and you just want to play through again, you do have the option to skip the intro. So, for this sake of showing you guys, I am not going to skip the intro. What a shame. So this is what happens if you decide to watch the intro. That's weird. Alright, is that better? I ended up lowering the desktop audio. I also wanted to make sure you guys can hear the music because in the game itself, I do have all the volume lower because whenever you're setting music to something, the music's always really loud in the software. So I always have it turned down in the game, but apparently it was still too loud. Okay, so yeah, so at this point you already have the idea that you can actually read the story now. It says, long ago, deep in the bowels of history, before humanity populated Laia, a powerful crystal inexplicably crashed down into the young planet's atmosphere, colliding into Laia's mountains. Massive quakes from the collision tore the landmass asunder and spread them across the Great Sea. After many years, new life began forming on each of the continents, breeding a unique species of intelligent beings. These beings learned to adapt by creating and inventing new ways to aid their survival, ultimately leading up to the beginning of a new era of life and civilization. After thousands of years, the civilization of man exploded into an era of discovery where many pioneered out into the world to unlock its complex secrets. An adventurer by the name of Alexander Corrigan found a peculiar mass of mountains with caves full of crystals that shimmered like diamonds, thus dubbing these the Diamond Mountains. Corrigan continued to search through these mysterious caverns to find the source of these alluring crystals. After many years, Corrigan had discovered a giant crystal deep in the underground corridor that shined without any natural light source. Little did he know what destruction would befall Laia once documenting his findings. Huh? No, I had already planned to stream it before you even mentioned it. Like, I was thinking of streaming this when I woke up this morning. After Corrigan's archaeological discovery, word had spread quickly to all the nations of Laia, starting a sprint to gain control of its power. This thirst created wars between nations which led to their own undoing. An era of despair had befallen the world, or just fallen the world. Fallen onto the world. I'm just like changing it as I go. The evils within the people's hearts grew restless from craving this power. With this lust pulling on their souls, the evils emerged, creating the monsters that roam Laia's lands. As long as there is darkness inside the heart of man, the planet will never be relinquished of this darkness. With the many wars and tribulations that spanned hundreds of years, the nations gave up on attaining the crystal's power. This decision to cease bloodlust induced a time of healing, allowing nations to rebuild and repopulate. Although many people still fascinate with the enigmatic crystal, its memory lives through the fables and folklore through generations. No one knows what mysteries shroud the crystal, but there are still evils that plot to harness its power to bring despair to the world. May the light of the crystal shine upon you and grant protection through all of your endeavors. So that was kind of the little introduction story I made for the game. So, your guys' thoughts and opinions of it so far would be nice. Keep accidentally hitting my mic. Ah, greetings, young one. Welcome to the world of Laia. It has fallen upon me to guide you through the parallels to prepare you for your journey. Pretty neat? Well, that's great to hear. Now, before we continue, I must ask your name. So, you do have the option of naming your character. Some games they don't give you that option because characters in the game might say your name. Hello, Mr. Fan Gaming. Welcome to the stream. And it's not Lala, it's actually Laia. It's L-A-I-A. Kind of like Gaia, but replace the G with an L. Hey there, mysterious vampire bro. Haven't seen you in a while. Thank you. Name him Bob. Okay. Sure. We'll name him Bob. What does it say? TerraCraft Game. Did that just say TerraCraft Game? Well, thank you for subscribing and welcome to the Ice World. Okay, B. Bob? Is that your name? So here you can actually say no. And he says, I see. Then what is your name? And then you have the chance to enter the name again. Bob, is that your name? Yes. Ah, a fine name. TerraCraft Games. Okay, I missed the S. I was looking over trying to read it from way over there, but it wasn't, maybe I should make OBS just a tad larger. That way I can see. Okay. Oh, sorry, I accidentally, when I clicked back on the screen, it acted like I continued. But basically, he sits there and he tells you about the dangers that exist in the world right there. And more buffering. Come back to us, Internet. Thank you. Alright, do not worry, you still have many allies. You have many allies assist you through your travels. You will have many I can't read today. You will have many allies assist you through your travels. Be sure to seek them out as you will not be able to face the toils alone. I'm out of time. You must continue on your own. You have an adventure that you must see to the end. Now go, and may the light of the crystal guide your way. And here we go, a nice fade to black. Bob, wake up! I need your help. Hurry up and get down here. It literally sounds like, when you hear this, Bob, wake up, it literally sounds like it could be an elderly couple. Just because of the name Bob. Like, she's like, your like wife is yelling at you to get your butt up. Ugh, is it time to get up already? Hey there, Dennis Mayer, or Fernium, welcome. Cool headset. Did you not notice the headset before? It's just a Corsair headset. Though, I mean, I believe this was like $150. I believe that's how much this headset cost. Better go see what Mom wants. I should probably get my gear too. So as you can see, we do have, this is the pause menu. Obviously, the actual game you're not going to be able to save. Oh, thanks. I have been growing it out, so. I barely mentioned it now. But, so yeah, obviously in the actual game there's not going to be an option to save. I mean, you're looking a bit pinkish. It's just the lighting. That and my face is always red because I've always had rosacea. It's a permanent rash. That's kind of hard to get rid of, so... Gotta go to bed in 8 minutes? Well, that's unfortunate. You're gonna... you're going to end up missing all of this. But anyway, saving. Obviously not going to be able to do that in the actual game. For testing purposes, I do have the ability to save. What kind of shenanigans? What kind of RPG game allows you to save anytime you want? Definitely not Final Fantasy. You always have to go to save points or go out into the open, like, not open world, but you know what I mean, the world map or whatever. Those are really the only times you can save. In this game, you save at a crystal, like a floating magical crystal. Kind of like Final Fantasy 12 had crystals as save points. 9 had just Moogles. But anyway, so you have all of this kind of stuff. Like, you can obviously check your items, weapons, armors, key items, all that good stuff. You can also view your skills. He doesn't have any because he hasn't learned it yet. But if you check the equipment, he has nothing. Nothing. He can't do anything. He's weak, has no armor, no weapon, no whatsoever. Obviously, you have status. Quest log. I will be implementing quests in this. Oh my god. Pay attention, internet. I swear, it seems to be good for like a few solid minutes, and then it drops for like a few seconds, and then comes back. So I don't know what I've said made it into the stream or not. But hopefully nothing too important. But as I was saying, I will implement quests in this. Because you'll have the story quests in here, and then also side quests. So that's definitely something that'll be worked on. And then, of course, you have your options. You can have always dash on. I'm not actually sure what command remember does. Battle camera, you can turn it on and off. Full screen, if you don't want full screen, you could do that to turn full screen off. I actually just added this before the stream. Just to make it to where if it's not full screen, it might be a little harder to see what's going on, so I have full screen in here. But I'll probably keep it. And this is where you can also change background music volume, background sound volume, music effects, and sound effects. You can end up changing all the volume here if everything's too loud or too quiet. And debug is a testing only thing. So if you're actually playing the game, you're not going to see debug in here. I'll probably end up getting to a point where if you want to change the formation of your team, then this will light up, but it will probably only do that like in certain instances. Like, you can't do it all the time. And then, of course, game ends your game. And you could see that down here is part of the clock system that tells you what time it is, what numbered day it is. It'll also tell you the day of the week, the month, and the year, and the season. So obviously right now in this game, it starts you off at January 1st in the winter, because that's obviously winter. And of course it records your playtime for how long you've been playing. So what game doesn't do that? So we can actually start moving around and doing stuff. I haven't worn these old things in years. See, like, you can make them interact with certain things. No, I don't need my formal attire right now. I mean, I'm not going to obviously go through everything, because it's just some pointless information. Like, haha, I used to love reading these books as a kid, but RPGs always have that kind of stuff too. Game end will actually shut down the entire game, and like, it's not going to bring you back to the title screen. It'll just close the game. But so now if we try and leave, he'll say, I don't think I have everything I need yet. So he stated that he needs to grab his gear, which is going to be in here. I should probably grab these. So we've got a katana, a leather hat, a leather shirt, and a pair of gloves. So now we can actually go to equip this stuff. So here you can see we can equip this katana, and you can actually see on the right here, that he can learn an ability from this weapon. And as long as he has the weapon equipped, he can still use that ability, but he has to wait until he's earned all the AP to actually learn the skill, and then he can change his weapon out for something else. I actually liked that system placed. A lot of this stuff is going to be based off of Final Fantasy IX, really. But I just loved Final Fantasy IX. I loved how its system, you had to learn stuff through gear and weapons. So we're going to equip that. We're going to equip his gloves, which, as you could see, the gloves raised his agility by 8, so he's a little faster. And what you can't see is that the gloves also increased his evasion and magic evasion by a small percent. Because you don't want to give it like too extreme, otherwise he'll be dodging everything left and right. And obviously enemies are going to have a hit percentage as well. So we'll give him his gloves. We've got his leather hat, which will raise his magic defense. Leather shirt, which will raise his actual defense. And then we have that one accessory slot for whatever you want it to be. And then, of course, you have Optimize, which will give you the best of everything you have so far. So if you don't want to go through everything manually, you can always hit Optimize. And then, obviously, Clear will clear everything. So there's that. So now that we have all of that equipped, because for instance, if I went back to equip and say removed his gloves, it would still say, I don't think I have everything I need yet. So we have to go back in, equip his gloves, and now we should be able to leave. Alright, I'm all set. And then he can leave. Obviously, what's the word I'm looking for? Not commentary. Dialogue. That's what I was looking for. Obviously, dialogue can be changed later on. Come on, internet. Come back to me. But yeah, so dialogue can be changed at a later time. So, we also have this room here, which all he says is, I shouldn't go into Mom's room, and then he'll walk back. And he'll keep saying that no matter how many times you keep trying to enter your mother's room. So we're going to go downstairs. Now that we're downstairs, you can see it's not much of a house. There's just this hallway right here. And then you have like your table, a little fire. Mom sure loves her fire. I'm always sweating so much in the summer because of it. And then we have, it's Mom's hat for whenever she goes outside. She hasn't worn it since Dad left. And, not what you're thinking. It's not like his... You'll find out soon enough. I also eventually going to have it set to whenever you go to a clock, it'll tell you the time, but what's the point of doing that when you can look in the right-hand corner? It shows you what time it is. Like right now, it's saying it is 7:30. It just passed 7:30. You're talking to Azza right now? Okay. Cool. So when we step on this one more block down, it's going to activate a little cutscene. Kind of cutscene. It's really just dialogue, mostly. Hey, Mom. And she's just like, what? It's about time you got your lazy butt up. Might be a little slow, but... Really, internet? Okay. Sorry, Mom, you know I love to sleep. I know, dear. It's all right. You needed help with something? Yes, those pesky varmints are at it again outside. I need you to go out there and take care of them. No sweat. I'll take care of them real quick. Thank you, dear. With your father gone, it's been great having you around, helping me out. I sure miss him. I wish he would come home from time to time. At least to let me know he's alright. I know how you feel, Mom. I miss Dad, too. Alright, enough rambling. You better go take care of those pests. I'll get started on breakfast. You've got a deal. I'll be back soon. And this thing plays saying you received a new quest. It'll do that every time, so you might as well get used to it. So then we can go to our quest log, and we'll see we've got a story quest, Mom's Varmints. I don't know why it has that icon, though, but it says, Mom asked me to take care of some pests outside. Defeat the slimes outside the house. And it doesn't show the reward. His mom says the same thing as my dad. He calls me a lazy butt. This game isn't even out yet, and still I progress, and I already care and invested in this father character. Right? I mean, I do have it set for his father to actually make an appearance later in the game. But yeah, he ended up, the way the whole thing with the father is that the father did end up leaving to go on an adventure. And that's pretty much it. He just left to go on an adventure. Mostly because I believe I wanted to make him some kind of like treasure hunter, basically. He wanted to go out and look for treasure to bring back to his family. So, but that's pretty much it. And they are just sad because he never comes home to let him know they're okay. Still in progress. And still I progress. Sorry. But, so yeah, that's pretty much the premise of the father. So, right now, we have a quest to do. But first, we'll go here. Perhaps I'll take one of these for the road. Received Loamy Loaf. So what this loaf does, which I might end up changing it later on, it'll increase your max HP by 10. So if I use it, his HP is now 119. But I might end up changing it to where it only increases by 5 instead of 10. What parents let kids go on an adventure? Yeah, Pokemon parents. And at the ripe age of 10 years old. Because apparently at 10 years old, you're smart enough to go out into the world and brave everything that comes your way. Even gangs like Team Rocket. So now that we come outside, we'll see there's a lighter screen. This lighter screen actually man, I'm just like losing words today. It signifies, that's the word I was looking for, that it is morning. So anytime you see this brighter screen, it's morning out, especially if you look over at the clock. And I think it changes to day once it hits 7. So we're going to come over here, talk to one of these slimes, and it just says gurgle. There is the youngsters, and they look way younger. Yeah, and then there's also like the preschoolers, which are like 5. 4 or 5. Gurgle. Yuck! I forgot how gross these things are. Then he turns to you and says, gurgle blub. Right. Let's get this over with. I'm gonna move my mouse off too. Slimy merge. So notice the thing. Okay. Also, I wanted to mention that the typical Final Fantasy prelude that played at the title screen. I did whip that up in FL Studio, so I ended up making it. because I've always loved the Prelude, and every Final Fantasy game has it. So I put that at the title screen because it sounded like a good fit. The music that you hear right now is actually the battle theme that I made like years back, and I kind of updated it in FL Studio, and I ended up putting in the game as the battle music. So also, what do you guys think of that? Professor is evil. Professor Oak. You love this battle soundtrack? Well, thank you. I did put a lot of work into it when I originally made this. And then it shows something over his head. So if I have multiple characters, each character has like 3 different things they can possibly say, and it'll actually show it over their head. Gramps. Right, yeah. Here goes nothing. So then we can use our Flamberg's spell, kind of. The way the character is, he is what is called I think I call him Spell Sword. No, Spell Fencer. That's what his class name is. The type of like not Black Mage or anything. He's a Spell Fencer that uses a katana instead of fencing blade, but still, whatever. But he ends up imbuing magic into his sword and then attacks the enemy. So, for instance, this Flamberg spell, or Flamberg art, I guess you could say, it'll do both physical and magic damage, and it'll all come out of the opponent's defense. So it ended up doing 79 damage. And you can notice that that one slime is not moving as much. It actually slowed down. And he just took 27 points of damage. Because right now they're using Blizzard. Ouch. Okay, let's get rid of this one. So now he's dead. And I just got physically attacked. So there is a slight possibility you can actually end up dying from this. Like if this attack misses and he used Blizzard, I could have died. So we ended up winning. We got 12 experience points. So there's another interesting thing about this game too, is if you if you exceed a certain amount of damage on enemies, you can actually get what's called an overkill. So that's another thing from Final Fantasy X that I liked. And if you get an overkill, you get double the amount of AP, you get double the amount of experience, and you also get double the amount of gold. Hey there, CC Gaming. Welcome. What do you mean, who is that guy on the camera? Have you not been here a while? Yeah, I did lose a ton of health. I was also thinking about weakening those things a little too. So I got 46 gold off of that. I knew that was going to be easy. Time to go back inside and tell Mom I'm ready for breakfast. Really quick, before I do that, I'm going to walk over here to this. This was another interesting thing I like too. So we're going to talk to this. It says, note, here's a little tip for the future when it comes to these special crystals. Blue crystals allow you to save your game. Red crystals allow you to fully recover the party's HP and MP. Green crystals allow you to save while also fully healing the party. Remember to pay attention what crystals you are using. So you could do that and fully restore your health, and then you can save. So I'm just going to save over that one. Party is fully recovered. I did not mean to do this again. So I'm going to go back over here. So we need to go back inside and talk to dear old Mom. You were just being funny, huh? Good chance of death in the first battle. Can't save whenever you want. Call this game Final Shenanigans Hardcore. Well, remember, this is still all testing. So I could still nerf those slimes if I wanted to. In fact, if I go back to options here and take off the full screen, I can actually come back into this, open the database, go to enemies, our little slime here, and I can end up dropping his magic attack, let's say down to 12. That way his magic's, because the way it works, let me go to the skill here, out down to Blizzard. You know, I thought I got rid of this, but I guess not. I actually wanted to get rid of all that. And then get rid of this copy skill 8 or whatever. Ah. Didn't want to delete that. I wanted to this up. There we go. So now the way it works is that it takes the user's magic attack and the enemy's magic defense, but it multiplies the magic attack by 4 and the opponent's magic defense by 2. So if his magic attack is 12 and it multiplies that by 4, that's going to do roughly around 48 damage. But if you take the main character's magic defense, so I'm going to turn this back on to full screen, and we go up to status for his magic defense. His magic defense is 17, so you multiply that by 2 and that's 34. So you would subtract 34 from 48 and you would get around 14 damage. But there's a 20% variance, so it could potentially do 20% more damage or 20% less damage. And I keep looking over to the chat for some reason instead of up at the... it's been a while. You can nerf almost anything. Let's see. Love a hard game that's fair. Well, you don't want it to be too hard at the beginning, otherwise that can deter people from playing the game. You want to make it start off easy and then gradually get harder. Alright, see you later, Mr. Randomus. Thank you for stopping by. But for right now, they're like that. So let's go talk to good old Mom. Whoop, wrong button. I'm back. I took care of the slimes as requested. Thank you, Bob. You completed Mom's varmints. Received 500 gil. Oh, that's right. I need you to do me another favor. What is it? I need you to go into town and pick up the eggs I had ordered. Which, I see a typo there. I'm forgetting an E on ordered. They should have been delivered sometime this morning. Could you go check for me? I'll need them for breakfast. Sure thing. Thank you, dear. Now hop to it. You received a new quest. Yeah, hors d'oeuvre. Makes me feel like I'm saying hors d'oeuvre, but with a D, hors d'oeuvre. So now if we go to our quest options, it'll now show Mom's eggs, and actually shows an egg symbol, which is nice. So the object is to get eggs from the shop in town, and the reward is 3 potions and 1 high potion. So that's going to be nice. For later, anyway. So now, we're going to go ahead and leave. I'm going to run all the way over here. So another thing, too, you can either normally walk, or if you're pressing shift, you can actually run faster. Or, again, you can go into options and turn on always run. Alright, so we went ahead and saved. So now we can kind of like roam around town. Which I do plan on putting some more NPCs in this town. Grumpy old man. Back in my day, kids respected their elders. I hate the youth of today. He's such a nice old man, right? So we can also go inside the shop here. I think I put something here. Well, I heard the sound, but I guess I forgot to put a thing here. Oh well. I'll do that some other time. Welcome to my shop. How may I help you? So you can see all the stuff you can buy here. Obviously, he already has the leather hat, leather shirt, and gloves. And then you have the option to buy a rubber helmet, a bronze armor, or bronze gauntlets. So we can't really buy anything, but I just kind of wanted to show you that. And he'll always say thank you for your patronage. I guess I didn't talk to the NPC in here. I just love the fashions here. I bet you do. Alright, so now we have the armor, or the weapon shop. Which is not really anything special. If you go to like any one of these, it'll just say there's nothing of use here. Then we have, I'm busy. She's just walking in place and she's like, I'm busy. So if we buy something, these are really the only things you can buy, is a katana or a rod. So buying a katana is not really going to help, so we already have one. Couldn't leave the room without it. Then here we have a pub. Which, there's not really anything important in here either. And I gotta fix that too. You just hear like this cha-ching sound. The orange looking hair in the shop reminds me of Malon from... Oh yeah, I guess it kinda does, yeah. Or Din from one of the other Zelda games. So we can talk to him. I just served the last customer and I'm on break. Come back later. What a nice pub owner. He just hiccups. Oh shoot. Bartender, I dropped another one. Alcohol turns people into such brutes. This place smells terrible. I'll drink my coffee and go. He's in this pub for coffee, apparently. We're drinking... I guess they're already drunk if they just said, we're drink heart tea today, boys. Yeah, whatever. Maybe I'll leave that in to kind of symbolize that he's drunk too. Or signify. I don't know why I say symbolize. Pubs don't just have alcohol, you know. Yeah, she's clearly eating dinner or lunch. One of the two. Eating something. Some kind of meal. Then we have this house here. Which is just a random house. Nothing too important in here. Have you ever been to Caraco? It's a beautiful city. But lately it's been having many problems since the new chief took over. So like every now and then NPCs will just say random stuff, but they might end up hinting you towards other things that might come into fruition in the game. So life has been so much better since we moved here from Caraco. So that's a couple that came from this town called Caraco. So something might be going down there later. Then we have a house of this guy. Don't bother me when I'm working. And then you talk to her, and she says, don't get too upset with Daddy. He's always like this when he's cooking. So yeah, he's just a chef. Which explains why there's 2 beds in here and not just one. Welcome back, Azza. I thought this song was actually perfect for like a starting town. So now we're going to go up here. I think I'm still working on this, and I forgot to put the chimney back. So we have this little boy here. Ugh. My dad has me constantly studying. I just want to go outside and play. Much like any kid, right? Caraco. Not Kakariko. There's nothing of use here. I don't think I put anything in this house. Oh, maybe I did. Still don't know what it was, though. I think it was just a potion or an antidote. Yeah, one was a potion, one was an antidote. And he says, today is a great day. I don't think it could get any better. He's the mayor of Sunkiss, and we have the mayor's wife. My husband likes to pass everything off as okay, but the monsters are growing more and more restless as of late. Might hint you a little more towards the story of the game too. So we have one more NPC house, which is this one. So you could see all the kinds of stuff she has in here, like bottles everywhere, even shelves of bottles and bottles and bottles. And she's just an apothecary. Did you know that synthesis is not just for weapons and armor? You can craft potions and other medicines as well. Here, take this. And of course it's not going to show it because I did have a plugin that whenever you added something to your inventory, a little pop-up would appear at the lower left-hand corner. But I ended up not using it because there was no way to extend it for how long it was showing. And there was no way I could move it towards like the center of the screen or something. It was always down there and it would only show for like a second and then just disappear. So you didn't have enough time to read it. So I ended up having to do my own way of making a pop-up appear. So I still have to go back and edit a lot of that. But what she gives us is this Potion P recipe, which we can use to make what's called a Potion P. In other words, it allows you to heal. Like it's like a basic potion, but it works for your entire party. So it's pretty useful. So the place that we can go with all these recipes, I'm gonna go ahead and save once more. Just because I don't feel like doing all that again. So we're going to go up here, which is the synthesis shop. And we're going to talk to this guy. So another one I'll have to work with too. And to think all of this were crafted from such mundane materials, maybe you can make use of this. And at this point, he gives you the gold necklace recipe. So now we can talk to this guy. Welcome to my shop. So it automatically opens a crafting window, which you can look to see what you can make. And it really depends on the recipes you have. If you have them on person, you'll be able to craft them. So right now we can craft a Potion P. So you can see here that to make one, you need to use 2 potions and also have 100 gil. So we only have 1, so we can't craft this right now. Oops. Go back. Then we have gold necklace, which for some reason that one ingredient's not showing, so I'll have to change that. But it's supposed to be, it was supposed to be gold dust. I think that's what I called it. And bronze gauntlets, and you can use those 2 together to make a gold necklace, which is an accessory. So I still haven't made what the gold necklace should do yet, but I'll get there eventually. So that's something we can end up crafting at some point. So for instance, if I went to the store or something and bought a bunch of potions, I can actually come back and craft them. But that actually reminds me, if I remember correctly, in one of these houses, there was supposed to be a potion somewhere. I don't think it was here. Or maybe it wasn't one of the houses. I think it was one of the buildings. So next, we're going to go into the inn. That guy down there doesn't talk anything. He's just blocking you from leaving the town. So we're now inside the inn, which we have like these 2 elderly gentlemen, foreign geriatric. I'm impressed with how much knowledge there are in these books. You should give them a read yourself. So we can actually come over here, which I think I still have it messed up, so I had to walk into the bookcase. Golden enemies. So this is supposed to be a batch thing, but it cuts off at certain parts, if I remember correctly. But it says, I have seen many monsters throughout my travels, but nothing like the ones made from pure gold. I made an effort to study these bizarre creatures as often as I could, and I was amazed with what I discovered. Not only did they drop a large sum of coin upon defeat, but they also grant the victor extra items and experience. Should you ever encounter one of these golden creatures, be sure to defeat it quickly or it'll try to escape. I was only able to get in 5 attacks before it fled. They have very high defenses, and from what I've gathered, they have one weakness that changes for each monster. It's up to you to figure out which golden creature's weakness is supposed to say. And then it says, good luck, Alexander Corrigan, which we probably remember that name from earlier. Well, welcome back, Fernium. Do accessories give you anything like statistic boosts, like better attack, defense? Yes, accessories are supposed to boost your stats in some kind of way. Like, it can boost your attack, defense, magic defense, agility, luck. I think those are all of them. And some might even increase your HP or your MP. And they can also do other things like give you some kind of defense against a certain element or allow you to absorb a certain element. Or they can give you other parameters, but I can actually show you that later when we can actually work on setting up the golden necklace. So I'm going to get off of that and get out of the bookcase. So I don't think I think all of these just say the same thing. It's just the golden enemies, so no. I just said no. Let me out of the bookcase. I'm currently studying the different regions of this world. You never know what sort of creatures you'll face. That is very true. And this girl just says, please check in at the counter, because I was too lazy to make the second floor. Melic tomato? Melic potato? What are you talking about, Fernium? So, right now, whenever you rest at the inn, if you stay, it'll automatically take you to the next day to 7 a.m. in the morning. So it'll always do that, and you'll notice that it'll say like day 2 or something now. So we're not going to do that right now. And then this girl over here, so she'll also be in every inn. She says, hi, I can help you pass the time. What time would you like to go to? So the way this is set up is if the time is before 6 a.m., like if it's between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., you can actually jump to 6 a.m. If it's past 6 a.m., you can jump to 10 a.m. If it's past 10 a.m., you can jump to 2 p.m. and so forth. But the options will change depending on what time it is. Hey there, Jason. I had a feeling you probably would end up coming on to the stream. And there's nothing of use in that barrel. So we're going to go ahead and leave. I was just showing you the inn. Now we're going to go into the shop. And of course, I need to fix that, but this was supposed to be another potion. Yes, we all know, Fernium. Okay, there it goes. Now it's starting to get better. Maybe. There it goes. Okay. So now we have people in here, too. There's always so much stuff in here. I don't know what to buy. I think I'll buy this map of the region. I want to buy this bread, but I don't have enough money. Now we can continue with the story. Hello, ma'am. I'm here to pick up some eggs that my mother ordered. Hey, it's spelled correctly this time. It actually has the D. Or the E, excuse me. Ah, Bob, you're just in time. The eggs just came in an hour ago. Here you are. You received carton of eggs. Thank you, ma'am. You're welcome, darling. Give your mother my regards. Will do. And now we can actually buy some stuff. with the little money, with that much money. So we can buy some potions, because we'll probably need them. I like to buy 10. Buy a Phoenix Down, another antidote, couple of eye drops, and a lozenge. So basically, the way these things work, obviously, antidote is pretty simple. Cures poison. But it also cures venom as well, so be sure to have that stuck in your head. You can set the character's name. What was his name? It was Mr. Randomness, I think. He suggested that I name him Bob, so we named him Bob. But yes, you do have the ability to choose the name you want for him. And then a lozenge cures silence. Thank you, please come again. So now we can look in our inventory here. Potion, Phoenix Down, antidote, eye drops, and lozenge. And then you can go to the weapons and shields, which in this case, shields for this game are going to be gloves, wrists, like wristbands and stuff, and then actual shields and gauntlets. All that kind of stuff is considered shields. And then obviously armor is going to be like hats, shirts, chest plates, helmets, that kind of stuff. And then you have your key items. These are the cartons of eggs. These are the eggs your mother wanted you to get. And then, of course, the recipes. And we can't use any of them. We can't use any of them. The only ones we can use are these. So we've got that. So now it's time to leave. Ah! Leave me alone! What the? What's going on? What was that? Someone! Help! It's coming from over there. I better hurry. So yeah, now we can't go back in because he's all like, what am I doing? I need to investigate the scream. And if you try to go to any door, he'll say the same thing. So at this point, you're kind of locked from going inside any place. Plus, I like this music too. Also, I wanted to change what he says. Be all like, hey, what's happening over there? Kind of, basically. So now we can see there's actually things down here. So, instead of using the crystal, I'm just going to go ahead and save. And then we'll activate another cutscene right here. Is it me, or is YouTube buffering a lot? It's probably not you. Or, well, it might be a mix of YouTube, and it might be also my internet. Hopefully, in a couple months or so, when I actually have my own internet, I'll make sure that this doesn't happen anymore. Whoa, what the? How in the world did that thing get into town? Is someone there? Please help! Alright, I need to help this girl. Yes, yes you do. Hey, ugly! Over here! Snort. He's like, my food! He's just like, yeah, no. If you want her, you'll have to go through me. And a battle ensues. An orc emerged. Well, this is just great. So obviously at this point, we're gonna be going crazy on this orc. And he's pretty strong too, but at this point, you should have potions if you've bought any from the shop. Savior IDK. So obviously Flamberg is going to be your strongest attack. He just did 29 damage there. I'm going to go ahead and heal once. Because when he gets low enough, he could potentially use double attack. See, he just did 34 there. I'm gonna heal one more time. Yep, and there's the dual attack. And he just did that much damage. I think he only has one more hit left. Nope. Oh, thank goodness he didn't use dual attack again. And this is the importance of potions. But yeah, if you watch him, you can tell he's barely moving. So you know he's almost dead. What do you mean, wow, that's evil? What, dual attack? Oh, come on, really? I thought he would have been dead already. Now he should be dead. There he goes. And with that, it's an instant level up. Welcome back, Mr. Randomness. You just missed me kill an orc. And you're just like belly button. So, and you get 5 AP from this battle too. Thank you for your help. There's no way I could have fought that orc all alone. I should have put all alone in there. Hey, don't worry about it. I can't turn my back on someone in need. My name's Bob. What's yours? Oh, my name is... And then you do also have the option to name her as well. We'll wait to see the enemy's health. There actually is. I just never put it in. But how many games that you play are you able to see how much health the enemy has? But then again, there's some Final Fantasy games that do show the enemy's health. Name her Spaghetti Girl. That's not gonna fit. But yeah, her actual name is Svelta. I'm not sure what language that's from. I saw it in a game once. Bobbette. Or, well, let me see. I think you can actually use the mouse here to click something. Whoops. We can name her Spaghetti, though. Wow, the internet's getting worse and worse, it seems. Oh, it just dropped to 0? Really? Oh, there it goes. Welcome back, internet. Yeah, that was a really nasty dip right there. I was actually kind of surprised because normally it's only like 3 or 4 seconds long. Anyway, we'll just name her Spaghetti for now. Spaghetti? That's a very pretty name. Yeah, if you're a hungry Italian. Thanks, I was named after my great-grandmother. Yeah, her great-grandmother's name was also Spaghetti. Say, if you're hungry, like I am after hearing that name, why not come with me to my home? My mom is currently preparing breakfast. Sure, that sounds great. I haven't eaten anything lately. Whoa, alright. Well, follow me. I'll be sure to get you fed. Thanks. Spaghetti joins your party. No, I'm not taking your suggestions too seriously. Her great-grandmother was named Ramen. Or was it pasta? Could very well be. So now if you look, Svelta is now in our party as well. And she doesn't have anything equipped. Which means... Wait, where am I going? I needed to go to the shop. Gotta buy her rod. And then also buy her the other stuff. Which means a leather hat, leather shirt, leather gloves. And then equip her. So now, because of the rod, she can now use Cure. Yeah, she's basically your white mage. So now we can save again. And that right there is as much as I've been able to do so far. Whoops, come on. Turn that off so I can close this. But yeah, so that's all I've gotten done so far, which you have no idea how much time went into just doing all of that. And that's just the very beginning of the game. This doesn't feel like just another RPG Maker game? How do you mean? Like, I'm actually just curious, like, how do you mean? There's a lot of RPG Maker games and a lot of them just feel the same. Yeah, I like to make it to where it's a little different from your typical normal RPG. That was bothering me. But so that's I always take elements from some of my favorite RPGs and I like to put them into the game that I'm working on. Like I said, the equipment and learning thing was from Final Fantasy IX, and there's probably some other games that did that. And then there's the saving crystal thing from like Final Fantasy 12, and there's the the overkill thing from Final Fantasy X, which I always end up liking. So right now, I can actually show you. Let's see, where is the... Oh, it's right here. I need to change it to number 73. I don't think I have an image for gold dust anymore. It used to be this, but it was actually gold colored. Guess I'll just use the gold bars for now. And I'll apply that, and I'm going to go way down the gold necklace recipe. Which this is just saying armor 161. Because that's what it's supposed to make. So then you go to armor 161. Before I do that, what was that again? It was 73. So we would go to the gold necklace. And this says item 41. So we actually need to make this, I think I said 73. And it requires one thing of the gold dust, and then armor 101, 200, and then that's the recipe. Rarity that you see here just depends on what the color is. If it's just a rarity of 0, it's just gonna be white, basically. But with that said, give me a quick moment here. I've just got to go run to the bathroom once more. So I guess while you guys are waiting, I can play something. Maybe I'll play the battle theme. Let's see. Make sure it's not too loud. There you go. You guys can listen to this while I'm in the bathroom. And before I do that, my favorite Pokemon is Porygon Z, and I'll tell you why when I get back. So I'll go ahead and stop that. Thank you. Anyways, yeah, Porygon Z is my favorite Pokemon because not only is the thing freaking adorable due to the fact that it's a glitch, um, it's also really powerful. It's got a really high special attack. Next map should be a slime forest. I could see that. Especially considering they're located in a forest. But yeah, Porygon Z can potentially have one of the most powerful hyper beams in the game. Um, Especially if it's holding a silk scarf, because not only would it get stab or same type attack bonus from being a normal type and the attack is a normal type, it will also get a further bonus from the ability adaptability and another further bonus from the silk scarf. So it can have a potential very powerful hyper beam, or with the introduction to Z moves, just having adaptability with a Normium Z would also give it a really powerful breakneck blitz. So I think I'm going to refresh the stream because it's always saying 2 people waiting. Been saying that this entire time. There we go. Now, because I knew there was more than just 2 people in here. Drop the course 2. I didn't last time, but whatever. Anyway, what was I doing before I went to the bathroom? I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. Oh, right, it had something to do with this, which I already fixed it. So, oh, I think I did decide that the necklace will boost defense and magic defense. I actually forgot I did that. But the golden necklace will boost defense and magic defense by 15%. So it'll be helpful to have just at the start of the game. So you would want to give it to um well, you can either give it to the person with the lowest magic defense or the person with the lowest defense. Which I believe the main character, his defense and magic defense are about the same. And then you have Svelta, whose magic defense is going to be higher than her defense due to being a white mage. So, so but yeah, so these are what the parameters are for, and that's what I was actually going to show. So you can always set it to where you can have an elemental rate. So basically, yeah. So this is how you can set it to where an enemy or whatever is weak to something. Obviously, if you set this to like fire and put like 300, then yeah, they're going to take 3 times the damage from fire type attacks. But if you set it to like 50, it'll have fire type damage. Will I be doing any more Terraria? I mean, at some point, yeah. Um, I didn't have any plans of doing Terraria yesterday or today, and I know for sure I won't be streaming the next 2 days. And unless I can find some place to stay that actually has decent internet, then it's probably going to be a while before I actually stream again. Yeah, I was teaching Zip how to play Terraria, but again, that might also have to wait. But so anyway, then you also have debuff rate, which makes it to where like if you set it to defense 150, then you have a 50% extra chance to inflict a defense debuff against the enemy, or against yourself in this case. State rate is the chance that you have of inflicting that state, like 100% chance is just normal. State resist means you are immune to it. So like you can make something that makes you immune to poison, so you cannot be poisoned. So that's always good too. Then we go into the parameters here. So this parameter, for instance, will make it to where one of these will either increase or decrease. So you can even make something that's like super strong, but it can lower your defense to 0 or something. So it'll make you like a glass cannon. Like it'll like double your attack, but have your defense. So you can end up doing something like that. The EX parameter is basically the other kind of stuff. Like you can make it to where it gives your character an extra percentage of hit rate or evasion or critical rate, all that kind of stuff. Or it can even give you the amount of HP you would regenerate every time. SP parameter is a little different. Like this is how you can make it to where you can have double the amount of experience when you have the item equipped. So you would have it set to experience and then change this to 200%. So now while you have this equipped, you'll receive double the amount of experience. And then you also do floor damage, like you would take 200% extra or like double damage from floor damage, double damage from magic, double damage from physical attacks. It can also double your cost, your MP cost rate, or TP, which I don't use TP. It can also give you to where, if pharmacology is basically if you use a potion. So if you had a potion used on you, you would actually restore double the amount of what the potion's supposed to restore. Same thing with recovery effect. So if you got hit by cure, you would actually receive, say, 400 instead of 200. And then guard effect, I don't think it really affects guard all that much. And then target rate would basically make it to where you're twice as likely to be targeted than someone else. So, and then you have all this kind of stuff here. So attack element, this would give you, say, the water type attack element. State, this would give you a chance to poison. Like, you can't go any higher than 100. Well, I guess you could, but it would just, like if you set this, I wonder how high it could go. Oh, it can actually go to 999, okay. But yeah, this will give you a 999% chance of inflicting knockout on the enemy. So, you don't want that. Normally, you might have it set to where you might have like a 20% chance to poison whenever you would hit the opponent. Attack speed, this basically makes it to where how fast your attacks will be in order to, like above everything else. Like oh, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like priority. It would make your attacks have a higher priority. And then attack times would basically mean you'd have multiple attacks. Like you might be able to attack twice or something. Then you have skill, which you can make it to where when you have this equipped, you can actually use other arts like ballistics or techniques or anything like that. Or you can have it seal something. Like if you want to use this, you cannot use your spell arts anymore. It can also add a new attack. Like while this is equipped, that person can use Thundaga regardless of what their class is. And then of course seal skill, make it to where while this is equipped, you cannot use this skill. So it's pretty self-explanatory for that. Same thing with all this equipped. With this equipped, you can now equip staves or something. Or you can now equip magic armor. You can now Or it might lock something. Like if you equip this accessory, you can't wear shields or anything like that. Or well, it'll lock your shield basically. It'll make it to where you can't take off that shield, whatever you have, whether gloves, an actual shield, um, gauntlets, wrists, whatever it is. You would not be able to remove whatever that piece of equipment is while you have this accessory equipped. Then you have seal equipped, which this is what makes it to where you would no longer have that. Like if you have this accessory, you cannot equip anything to your shield slot. And then slot type, this could just make it to where you could be dual wield. It'll remove the shield slot and replace it with another weapon, so you can wield 2 weapons at once. And then other action times, it's a little different in terms of the other one, which was attack time. Like this would make it to where you would have okay. So it basically says if you have it set to 100%, let's see. I have to read this carefully too. Increases the number of times actions can be taken in battle by a specified probability. For example, entering 50% twice results in a character that has a 50% chance of acting twice and a 25% chance of acting 3 times. So it's a little finicky. You would only really probably use that for like special conditions. Then you have also special flag, which I wouldn't see why you would have anything like this on a piece of equipment. Same thing with the collapse effect. If you die, you'll have a boss collapse effect. It doesn't work. Party abilities, though, would be great for equipment like this. Like make it to where you have a 50% chance of, like it would cut your encounter rate in half or down to 0 to where you won't encounter anything. Make it to where you can't be preemptively striked or struck by opponents. Like they would never catch the upper hand. Or make it to where you have a higher chance of getting a first attack on the enemy. Or double your gold and double your items. So that's basically all the stuff you can have here. Then, of course, there's stuff you can have in notes, which notes are generally used for plugins. Like a plugin might tell you to put this specific thing in the note, which is what this whole recipe thing is. Hey there, Ruby. Welcome to the stream. But it makes me wonder if everybody's following me on this. But so, and we of course we don't have a price set, but if I do set a price, say like 500 or something, that would at least make it to where if you sold it, it would sell for 250. But yeah, that's the gist of how you would set up like armor and all that stuff. Skills are a little different, but we'll get into that another time. So plugins, as I mentioned before, these are all the different plugins I have in this game so far. Some of which I haven't used yet, but I'll probably get to using them later. Or some of which I might not use, and I might just need to remove them off of the list. And as you can see here, this was the full screen toggle that I just added, so you can actually have a full screen. I used to have this item pop up on, I didn't like it. And there was another one up here, this one, Tiny Get Info window, and I didn't like it either, so I just turned them both off for now. But all these different plugins are very useful for many different things. Like for instance, the message core here. This is what, whenever you make dialogue, you can actually input some of these into it. Like for instance, /G will show the gold. Show the amount. It will show a gold window, so you'll know how much money you have. So it's really good to put in. Well, no, sorry. /G just shows the currency unit. The thing I was thinking for the gold window, let's see, where is it? I want to say it was on here somewhere. Maybe not. Maybe I passed it. You've got fonts, effects, outline, position, line break, name box, wait time. So, oh, there it is. It's /$. That's what opens a gold window. And I think it's usually in the top right somewhere on the screen, but it's good to do for if you're about to start up a shop, or somebody's all like, hey, I've got this. If you want to buy it, it's going to cost like 200 gil or something. And then you can have their gold window appear up there. Gonna lurk since you got to go back to work in 20 minutes. That's understandable. No worries. But and you've got a bunch of other stuff that you can do here. So generally when it comes to plugins, it's really just like reading through them, trying to understand them, and how you would end up implementing them into whatever it is you're doing. And because most of them are just plug and play, like you just install the plugin here and then move on. But other ones you do have to end up putting in some work. I didn't really touch up on plugins too much in my original tutorial video. But anyway, you see that we do have this really large map. And of course, we've got this down here, but it's set up. Like I'll even show you. I'll open this one for her. This is set up to turn on when the switch got the eggs is activated. So if that's not activated, she will not appear. Same thing with this little ogre down here. But if we go up to tab 2, there's another switch called Svelta joins. So when that's available, this disappears. So just got to keep that kind of stuff in mind. Because that's kind of basically how you control the flow of these kinds of RPG games, or with switches and variables. And I can show you an instance where I used variables, which variables sound a little intimidating at first, but once you understand them and how they work, they're actually really easy to use. So for instance, let me actually go to, I don't know why I closed that, but let me go to troops here. And I've got this right here. So this will start a variable thing, and it starts immediately at the beginning of a battle. So it immediately controls variables, and it sets party size equal to the number of party members you have inside the battle. So if you have 1, then party size is going to equal to 1. So it says if party size is equal to 1, then it says control variable actor ID, or there's a variable called actor talk ID, and it says if actor ID of party number is number 1. So if I click on that, so game data is a little interesting too, because you go to game data and there's so much more here. So party member number is 1. So this will turn, or this variable will be whatever the number is of this actor ID. So if the actor ID is 1, that would mean actor talk ID is now also going to be 1. And then it will end. And then it will go on to the next thing. It says if party size is equal to 2, then it says control variable. So it'll create another variable called random party number. So it'll basically be random between the numbers 1 and 2. So it'll randomly pick a 1 or a 2. And then it says if random party number is equal to 1, then we still have the actor talk ID equals the actor ID of party member 1. If it chooses 2, then it'll set the actor talk ID equal to the ID number of party member 2. So the reason why you do that is you don't want to just say actor ID of actor 1, basically, because what if you get into a battle and actor 1 is not in a battle? Then you've got actor 1 talking and he's not even there. So that's the importance of setting to party member 1, because you might have 4 people in a battle. Party member 1 might be actor ID 4, party number 2 might be actor ID 7, and so on. So you want to make sure the correct person is going to be talking at that point. So it's always important to set it to party member rather than actor ID. So it'll change and set that, and it'll keep doing it for, if the party size is 3, then it'll pick a random number between 1 and 3. If the party size is 4, it'll pick a random number between 1 and 4. So now we have all of this, and these are for something else later. So we go back to our common events, because it also calls a common event as well. So it'll bring up this common event, and it says if actor ID is equal to 1, then it'll control another variable, which is random actor dialogue, and it'll be another random number between 1 and 3. And if it chooses 1, then it'll play this dialogue right here saying, well, this is just great. If it chooses 2, then it'll play this one, which he says, here goes nothing. And if it chooses 3, it'll pick this one, there's no place for you to run. And that's only if the random actor dialogue is equal to 1. Sorry, not random actor dialogue. Let me scroll up again. That's only if actor talk ID is equal to 1. So I have one for all 8 characters in this game. So this will be everything for actor 1. This will be everything for actor 2, actor 3, actor 4. Then you go 5, 6, 7, 8. And then after that, it ends here. And then break loop. I don't know why I have that break loop there. I didn't even start a loop anywhere. Well, it works. So, well, I guess it breaks the loop so that way it won't keep repeating throughout the battle. So we'll continue with this. So next, I had to do something a little extra when it came to zombies and petrification. So, and I can actually do a little test. Let me go to my enemies here. So this cockatrice will always do zombie, so I can actually show you by doing a troop. Going to the cockatrice here and do a battle test. And I'll just leave, let's say put him at level 2 and put her at level 2. Just add them both in here. Give her rod and the gloves, the hat, and the shirt. So those should be the only 2, so we can actually start a battle. Or not. I don't know why it's full screening. Close. Okay, so one interesting thing, for some reason, the I believe it's the Game Quest system. For whatever reason, when this is on, the battle just won't play. For some reason, the test battle hasn't. I don't know why I went here. I don't know why I went here. Let me whoops. Turn this back off. I'm hitting the wrong button. There we go. I don't mean to push that. I don't mean to push that either. Sometimes I confuse myself on where I'm going. These should, no, she went back to, I gotta reset everything again. I guess it really doesn't matter what she has equipped, because it really is only a test battle, and the thing's only going to cast zombie on everybody. Okay, so now it should work. So now we have a cockatrice emerged, and she says, I'll keep everyone healed. So I'm just gonna guard and show you what happens when they get inflicted with zombie. I don't know why it shows that state, but whatever. So she's inflicted with zombie, supposedly. Oh, I probably have to, actually, let me, get out of this. So, what's supposed to happen didn't end up happening. So let me, I don't know why they're getting stunned also, so let me just leave. Something happened along the way. So that means I need to go look at the states here and make sure something is inflicting zombie. Like, well, this does say just zombie. So let me look at the skill. Just down here somewhere. See, this says add state stun. We don't want stun, we want zombie. Okay. So that was where that was not good. So let's go back into the battle for now, just so I can show you what's actually supposed to happen. And troops. Okay, now it should be the same, still good. Here goes nothing. Guard. Guard. So they're both gonna guard, which is why it shows a shield down there. So he's using Zombify. And now it didn't work for some reason. It shows the symbol down there, but now it's not showing he's green. So I'm gonna have to tinker with that because it's not working like it should be. Unless I think I might know what it is then. Let's go back to the common events here. And this is saying when he's inflicted with stun. And it's not supposed to be stun, it's supposed to be zombie. I wonder if Petrify is still the same, though. Because Petrify was the other one. Yeah, now it's saying burn instead of Petrify. I'm just going to change them back really quick. Just those two. I'm not going to change everybody's. So now it should actually work like it should. So let's go back into this battle. Oh, let me close this first. Like, this took a lot of working and stuff too. So we're gonna guard. I'm just gonna make her attack because she can. And that wasn't supposed to show a sword. It was supposed to show a rod or a staff. So now she's green because she was inflicted with zombie. So now if I try and kill this thing, okay. Tried to use it on her again, but it's not gonna work. Okay, now it's dead. So the interesting thing about this is, just like in other Final Fantasy games, whenever you're inflicted with the zombie status, you do not gain any experience, and you don't gain any AP either. So, and it's the same exact thing with Petrification, if I show you what I did here. So with zombie, it'll have 0 experience, and then equal, or EQL AP boost is equal to 0%. So that's what prevents you from doing anything. This is a little custom code that had to be added in here for if you take negative damage, which in this case, healing is negative damage. And of course, damage is damage. So if you take 200 damage, that's why it shows a 200. So negative damage means you're healing 200. So in this case, if you take any negative damage, um, it's going to revert that and make it to where you actually take damage. So if you're inflicted with zombie and somebody tries to heal you, it's going to hurt you instead. And then when we go to petrified, it's still the same thing with experience and AP. Like you don't get anything, but when you are petrified, you don't take any physical damage, you don't take any magical damage, and you have your magic evasion is through the roof. And the reason for that is because if you're petrified and something tried to poison you, you're not going to be affected by the poison. It's just going to miss. Um, but I get because that would have been easier than going in here just going state resist poison, state resist blind, state resist silence. So, but I mean, I guess eventually I would have to do that. So, but that would make it to where you're immune to everything else, even knockout. Like you can't be KO'd. So the only thing that could be done is if something uses a soft on you to remove that petrification. So with that said, if the entire party is petrified, then, and I'll actually show you the common event for it, which I think I have it. Yeah, it's all under the enemy petrified thing. So right here, this calls a script. So basically what all of this is saying is like this first thing is saying the game is checking for all your living members. And it's also checking for if any of these living members is afflicted with the state number 13, which I might need to change that because I think the states got moved around, so I need to change it to 16. So I can do that really quick right here. This was actually something I saw in a video and I ended up liking it, so I used it. So state 16 petrification. So the way this looks is if all the actors, all the living actors are afflicted with the state 16, in this case petrification, then it would result to it's not even all actors. If all if all actors are KO'd or afflicted with petrification or a mix of the two, it'll result into a game over screen. So if you had two people, one person is dead and the other person was petrified, that's a game over. Because there's no cure for petrification aside from using a soft. Will I be playing this game more? I mean, as I progress through it, yeah, and want to show off a little bit more. And I also told Yantu that if I make it up to a point for a playable demo, I would actually pass it over to him and let him test the game on a stream of his. So he can end up streaming the demo for this game, as well as anybody else if they would like to stream it. So basically, that's what that does. And then it's the same thing for this one, except this one checks the living enemies. So I got to change that too. So it's the same case. If all the enemies are either KO'd or petrified, then it'll result into a win. But if all actors are KO'd or petrified, it'll result into a game over. Because it's been like that for like a lot of games. If characters are petrified, I'm like, what are you gonna do? Just sit there and wait for your HP to deplete? Because that's why when you're petrified, you don't take any damage. No magical damage, no physical damage, anything. So if you're petrified, then there's not really much anything else you can do. And you can actually change it to where if somebody becomes petrified, they're nulled of all other status effects that they already had, and they're now immune to them. So Petrify, obviously, Knockout would be the only thing that has the highest priority. But this makes it to where if you're petrified, you can't basically die because you're not really moving or anything. Venom acts the same way as Poison, whereas Poison is 10% damage every turn. Venom is 15% damage every turn, 10% MP damage, and you also don't get any experience or AP. Same thing with Virus. Virus is the same thing. Virus doesn't really do anything harmful. The only thing it does is prevent any kind of experience or AP gain. So, and then Virus, obviously, you have to use something called a vaccine to rid yourself of the virus. I actually made this little icon. I made these icons here. This one for Venom, this one for Burn, this one for Addle, this one for Petrify, and this one for Venom. And speaking of Addle, Silence was always one of those things to where you can't use magic, but Addle makes it to where you can't use special, like your skills, basically. So, I mean, because there's always been something for Silence when it comes to magic, but there was never anything for skills. And Final Fantasy Tactics, Tactics Advance, and Tactics Advance 2, they always had Addle. So, and I actually carried that over. And of course, I gotta be right back again. This is why I can't eat dairy that much. Or I can't consume dairy that much. At least not so much in one day. Freaking milk, eggnog, and cheese. Not good for digestive system. So I was gonna play something else. Maybe let's see. Where is it? There it is. Lower it down a little. I'll play this while I'm in the bathroom. I'm back. Hopefully that'll be the last time that needs to happen. Hey there, Darklight Bros. It's been a while. Stop that, actually. How have you guys been? You're back and out at the same time. Huh. What are the odds? But yeah, so didn't really have much planned for this other than to talk about things a little bit. Um, and showcasing some of the game somewhat. Just realized that the walls up here. Oh wait, this was a large house. That's a different thing. These were house. Gotta get groceries. Okay. But yeah, so didn't really have much. Wait a second. Why wasn't it showing the chimney here? It was showing the chimney was invisible. Okay, I'm just gonna do that. Put that there. This chimney on top and move that back over. But yeah, so I think I'm probably just going to end this stream here. I'll definitely stream this again when I've got when I'm much further along in the game, to where I can showcase some more of it. And honestly, I hope it could still be months from now before I actually even have a playable demo, but we'll see. So I'm thinking that maybe a little bit later I might end up streaming more of the Orbox C, that puzzle game I played 2 days ago. Since the owner of the game, after I emailed him, he emailed me back, gave me a stream key. So I ended up getting a full version of the game. So I'm thinking maybe I'll end up doing a stream of that later today. And wow, it would have to be in like an hour and 20 minutes or so. But if I do stream that, that's probably going to be the last stream I'll be doing for quite some time, because obviously the next 2 days I'll be at my parents'. And again, of course, they don't have the internet to do any streaming. And after that, I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure where I'll be going. So, because yeah, today, or tonight, I should say, is actually my last night sleeping in this apartment, and then I'm going somewhere else. So hopefully, wherever I end up going will have good enough internet to stream. But if not, then it's gonna be quite some time, maybe at least 3 or 4 months or so, until I can actually get good enough internet when I get my own place. So, but yeah, so with that said, hopefully I'll see you guys later in the Orbox C stream. But if not, I hope you guys take care, and I hope you all have a great Christmas. So with that said, I'll see you guys next time.